Welcome back to Broken Electronics. I'm Lee, and it's great to be with you again here today. And I, of course, am still living the PowerMac G3 Blue and White adventure. So we've done a lot of upgrades. There's one big upgrade yet to come, but take a little side journey today. One of the things that I find interesting, I don't always do this, but I have fairly often. The idea of installing the original operating system onto a machine. The PowerMac G3 Blue and White Revision B, which came out in June of 1999, originally shipped with macOS 8.6. Now, I was not fortunate enough when I got this machine to get its original restore discs, but I do happen to have a copy of the retail version of 8.6. macOS 8, a very interesting operating system. It was kind of a stopgap release. They had been working on the Copeland project and finally realized it just never was getting off the ground. That's when they bought out Next Computers and Next Step, their operating system, which became the germ that sprouted into Mac OS X. OS 8 was released to take as much of the features that were supposed to be in Copeland that they could actually get running and release it on an OS basically continuing from Mac OS 7, which had been a very long-lived release. It was originally going to be released as Mac OS 7.6, but Steve Jobs, who had come back to Apple, wanted very much to end the Apple clones. The licenses that had been given to the clone makers to use Mac OS were specifically for System 7, which then became Mac OS 7. By releasing it as System 8, they got away from that. Now, those clones can run Mac OS 8, to be sure. They can't go any further than that, but many of them can run OS 8. But they could no longer make new machines, and they couldn't release them with OS 8 on them. Okay, so the plan then is to take this and use it to install that original operating system on my Revision B PowerMac G3 Blue and White. Depends on how you feel, I guess, about operating system installations. They haven't always been the most popular that I've done, but I'm interested in them, and basically I make videos on things that I find interesting, and I hope when I share them you'll find them interesting too. So please, if you do, stay tuned. When I first conceived this plan, I had intended to make a partition on the FireWire attached drive. However, my ongoing study has now taught me that the Blue and White can't boot off FireWire. And in fact, the first Mac that could boot from a FireWire attached drive was indeed the Sawtooth G4. That surprised me. So I tested it using an installation of Tiger on a FireWire drive, and yeah, sure enough, you can't boot to it. So I'm going to make a partition. First of all, I'm going to format this Macintosh hard drive. That's the 80 gigabyte hard drive that I put in there. It's currently got an installation of Leopard, which this machine is very unlikely to ever use. So let's open up this utility. And we'll come here. Erase it. We won't even give it a name. Oh, that's interesting. I remember the password. Okay, evidently I did. Okay, that's done. And now, we'll click on this. Let's go to partition. We'll try 2 partitions. We'll make that first partition 10 gig. We'll call it macOS 8 HD. And then the second partition we will call Macintosh HD. All right. And let's partition it. All right. So there's macOS 8 HD and Macintosh HD. Okay. Next step. Give it a chance to boot up. Or mount, I should say. Yep, and there we go. Okay. Now we're going to shut down. All right. Hold down the C key. And start it again. This should, of course, boot from the macOS 8 installer. Okay, I can hear the drive spin. You probably can't. Huh. All right. Happy Mac. macOS 8.6. Okay, this is a good sign. I've had this disk for quite a while. I believe I explained that already. I've never actually used it. The first time I tried to was on my other Power Mac Blue and White, and it just wouldn't boot up. I think there's a firmware issue going on. And I am using this as opposed to using one of my FireWire drives, because of course we found the blue and white won't boot to FireWire. So we're kind of stuck at using the old-fashioned method of taking the CD. Huh. That's interesting. Okay. Mac OS 8 HD. Let's go for it. Let's click start. That says 17 minutes. I don't know. This may be a particularly slow CD drive. I don't really know. Generally, OS 8 and OS 9 installations tend to go by quite quickly. Unless, of course, you're installing it from 28 or whatever the heck it was, floppy disks, which I certainly did. Yep, we're already down to 14 minutes. All right. 13 minutes. Well, why don't we let this work? You know, we'll come back. It's probably going to be pretty quick, but please stay tuned. All right, the installation's complete. It ended up being just shy of 10 minutes, which actually by OS 8 terms is a little long. And yeah, look, it's picked up everything on the existing OS 9 installation, hasn't it? Okay, so we quit that. Now, oops. Okay, control panels, startup disk. Why don't you want to open the control panel? That's weird. Well, let's just restart it and see what happens, I guess. I'm kind of suspecting that it will boot back into Tiger. And one of the things about this machine I have discovered is that holding down the Alt key, yeah, it is booting back into Tiger. Holding down the Alt key does not give you, the boot manager. Who knows? Again, a firmware problem, I'm pretty sure. remove the disc. Grab startup disk here. So yep, so we've got our options. Now let's see if we can boot into 8.6. Yeah, it certainly looks like it's trying to. Yep, Happy Mac. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, this Revision A machine came out in actually June, I think, of 1999. And macOS 8.6 was the pre-installed operating system. Interesting. It's not mount. Okay, there we go. Yep, it just took a little while. macOS Setup Assistant. All right, I will go through this and then we'll be back. Stay tuned. Okay, we're all set up here. So let's take a look at about this computer first of all. With our 1 GB of memory. $37.1 megabytes. How about that? All right, and System Profiler. All right. Startup device set as Tiger SSD. That's interesting because I had in Tiger just set it to boot up to OS 8. Okay, QuickTime 3.0.2. Wow. All right. PowerPC G3, 350 megahertz. Okay, devices and volumes. It won't see the FireWire drive. It's a limitation in OS 8. I could get it too, but it's probably not worth fussing with. All right, so CD-ROM drive, then removable media. That's the zip drive. Hard drive, macOS 8. HD, that's 2 partitions, and then macOS 9 on the SSD and Tiger on the SSD. All right. Huh. DV audio, FireWire 2. Huh. Okay, here's the display card. Oh, wait, this is slow. All right. ATY, I don't know why it does that. Blue Star RV100 card model. Yeah. I am curious about that card because the ad clearly stated 32 megabytes, so it's just not what I ordered. It's better than what I ordered. Again, I'm not complaining about it. Okay. Without system profiler. Now, interesting. All of these applications are actually installed on the Mac OS 9 installation on the SSD. Yet all of the aliases are popping up here. Let's open ClassZilla. Yeah, and that's pretty much what I would have expected. The actual profile for ClassZilla is located in the Documents folder on the OS 9 SSD. So it's seeing the application, and it can open it, and I'm assuming it would work. No, maybe not. Yeah, I guess not. I guess not. Okay. Interesting. Well, obviously there's a lot of fiddling that I'm going to have to do with this and make it make sense, but the big thing I want to accomplish, it's here. So I think we can wind up this installment of the Blue and White Adventure. So please, be good to other people. They deserve it. We all need it. Be good to yourselves, because, again, we all need it, and so do you. Start with yourself. We're trying to make a better world. We're not there yet. So please take very, very good and careful care in these difficult times. We have some more coming up with the Blue and White. We have some more coming up with a lot of different things, too. So hang around. Hang with me. Until that time, this has been Broken Electronics.